Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Charged in connection with a deadly shooting at O'Reilly Auto Parts. This man sentenced to just probation over the objections of the victim's wife. Ben?
Well, we got through this morning's commute mostly okay. We get another chance at snow for tomorrow morning's rush. We'll tell you how much to expect.
Also, a smash and grab crew leaving severe damage in their wake, tearing through at least 3 small businesses on the city's west side.
For the people who run these businesses, the worst part isn't the theft, it's the break-in.
This group of thieves has a very destructive MO, causing thousands of dollars in damage. Sean Lay takes us inside one of the stores that got the worst of this crime spree.
People's Pharmacy right here on Schaefer on Detroit's west side. They help a lot of people on a daily basis. Can't help anyone today because of this. A devastating smash and grab robbery where they're closed down, hurting their customers, hurting the employees that work here. Multiple cameras inside and outside of People Pharmacy have every angle of this crime covered. 5:02 this morning, men in this white pickup slam right into the security door. You can see the men get out and go right in. Flashlights in hand, they go right to the shelf of codeine cough syrup and empty that shelf. Reviewing all of this footage.
Look at him. Right there. Look at him. Setting up. He's setting up.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Pharmacy owner Tony Akande.
I feel sorry for myself, and I feel sorry for those people that did the crime.
And his staff.
This little fat one looked like he'd been here before.
Devastated by what they see.
That's the same guy.
The same one.
His cameras capture even more clues. A getaway SUV right outside, as well as a third car that drops off another member of the smash and grab crew. 1 hour later, the same truck, the same thieves smash their way into this liquor store on East 8 Mile to clean the place out. Then at 6:30 this morning, the same crew is suspected of smashing their way into this marijuana dispensary right down the street. Back at the pharmacy, so much effort to steal and leave behind thousands in damage.
What's the purpose? What's the sense?
Let's take a closer look now. One of the suspects that really stands out to the pharmacy owners, they think this guy on your screen here on the left is at the liquor store, on the right at the pharmacy early this morning. They believe he's a customer that comes in often, and he also really stood out because he couldn't keep his pants up during both of the robberies that we were looking at, the pharmacy and the liquor store. Also a suspect in the marijuana dispensary robbery as well. They're thinking the fact of the way he looks, the way he kept tugging at his pants might really stand out to someone. Devin may give someone the chance to give police a call to help identify these guys.
Sean, I'm wondering if that pharmacy's been hit before.
Yeah, a bunch, and they're really getting tired of it. Yeah. 5 times in the past 3 years, and they really serve that neighborhood well, and they said it's just costing them too much money at this point. They really want to get these guys.
No doubt. All right, Sean.
Okay, well, some parts of our area barely saw any snow overnight. Others saw several inches.
And this hit or miss trend continues, right, Ben?
Yeah, we've got another one of those bands that are going to be setting up tomorrow, but the winter weather advisories have been expanded into Genesee and Lapeer County, and this is an indication of where we expect the worst to be. And notice the time on this. This now runs until 6 p.m. on Thursday. So we've got pretty much from now until we get into the 6 o'clock hour tomorrow, so a full 24 hours that we're going to be watching for this next round of snow. Everything that's out there in this light blue color is fairly light and likely not accumulating. You can see just some very fine grains of snow that are out there, but you get into the south zone, and that's where those snow showers become a little bit more intense, especially that one north of Adrian. It is moving. It's not sitting over the same spot like the stuff we saw last night, so likely there's not going to see a whole lot out of it. As far as the reports of snow, this stuff is all light up here north of the city, so we're not anticipating anything significant during the evening. Dusting at worst is what we're calling it, but for the morning drive tomorrow, a widespread 1 to 2 inches, and with colder temperatures, a lot more of this is going to stick on the roads and the sidewalks than what we saw overnight. And another potent band of snow, and that's going to be for the afternoon and evening. We'll show you who gets hit with that coming up in a few minutes. We'll also break down the snow totals from now through Thursday in your 4-zone forecast. That's all coming up in just a few minutes. Devin.
Actually, Ben, I'll take it. Thank you. A man charged as an accessory in connection to a fatal shooting found out today he won't be going to prison. 38-year-old Leviticus Butler was sentenced to just probation in connection with the shooting death of James Holler. Holler was a manager at an O'Reilly Auto Parts store. Local 4's Coco McAvoy joins us live. And Coco, I understand Holler's wife is pretty upset about the sentence, and understandably so.
Yes, Kimberly, as you can imagine, this is very difficult for Patricia Holler, who lost her husband, and she believes anyone involved in his murder should go to prison, but the judge was saying that it doesn't work that way. The case involving the shooting death of auto parts store manager James Holler is already heartbreaking. And this morning, the man charged as an accessory in connection to Holler's death received what some believe is a light sentence.
The court did a Cobb's evaluation for 2.5 years probation, and court costs and conditions to be determined. We ask that you follow that.
38-year-old Leviticus Butler was taken into custody after the shooting at the O'Reilly Auto Parts store on Schaefer Highway. Police say Ebony McEwen Ross and Shantae Anderson robbed the store, and Anderson shot and killed Holler. Butler was accused of helping Anderson escape police.
He's old enough to know the difference between right and wrong and good and bad.
Holler's wife, Patricia, pleaded with the judge to send Butler to prison.
You don't harbor a criminal. You call 911 and have the police to come get him. I want him in prison.
Judge Gregory Bill told her he was following specific guidelines.
The facts and the situation is what it is. We can't put everyone in prison at $38,000 a year or in the county jail at $50,000 a year.
His words didn't stop Patricia Holler from crying as Butler left the courtroom, sentenced to a couple of years of probation after the devastating murder of her husband. So Butler was sentenced to serve 2.5 years probation, and if he violates that probation, then he can go to prison. The two other suspects in this case will be heading to trial. Back to you.
Coco, I'm wondering what else we know about Butler. Had he ever been in trouble with the law before?
So according to the judge, Butler did not have a criminal background, and of course that had to do with the decision to give him that probation because he says he's following the guidelines. But Butler also indicated that the two other suspects in this case were his girlfriends, so that is why he ended up trying to hide or help those suspects in this case.
Yeah, indeed. Okay. Coco, thanks. Devin?
It has taken a long time for Wayne County to find a way through the failed jail project. Tonight, there is a plan in place to end the expensive nightmare and build the county much more than a replacement jail, an entirely new criminal justice complex. Our business editor, Rob Maloney, has been on the case from the start, and he's got the update.
For the past 5 years, people have been asking the question, what are they going to do with this mess and when are they going to do it? We now have the guidance. Turns out that this is going to come down. It will disappear. We're going to get a whole new criminal justice complex across town, and that should happen in the next 5 years. The aging, rusting in the weather eyesore and jail disaster should disappear from Detroit's entryway by fall. Wayne County Executive Warren Evans.
But the taxpayers have already sunk $150 million down a rat hole. And so cost has always been king with me, and I will, admit early on that I wanted in the worst sort of way to finish on Gratiot because I thought it would be the cheaper way to go.
Complications start with a land swap. This vacant, foreclosed former American Motors plant site on the west side is traded by Wayne County to the city of Detroit in exchange for land next to the city's bus repair barn off I-75 at East Warren. Total estimated cost, $533 million. The county on the hook for a $380 million tops. The new jail will have 2,280 beds. They'll have to cut a separate deal for the unfinished jail, roughly $21 million, where Gilbert can develop as he desires. Estimated completion date on the Justice Complex is 2022. Dan Gilbert put out a statement today, quote, "This agreement is an outstanding example of Detroit 2.0, where the public and private sectors partner together in a smart, cooperative, and optimistic manner to find and implement the best outcome possible," end quote. Now, this is not entirely a done deal. The county commission needs to get a look at this, and the county has a number of deals it has to strike, not only with the land bank, but other agencies. And so this is going to take a while to get moving, but they believe that they can meet the schedule that's been set out. In downtown Detroit, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, Rod, important note about that difference in cost that you saw in the graphic. Rock Ventures has agreed to pay everything north of the county's $380 million cost, so that would include all cost overruns. Unlike the prior jail, this project will have blueprints and a county project manager for oversight.
A 17-year-old faces charges for threats made against Henry Ford High School in Sterling Heights. Police say Ethan McElrath made a social media threat to repeat the act of the Florida school shooting at Henry Ford. He has never been a student at that school before. The attack was allegedly being planned for tomorrow. He's been arraigned on charges of making threats of domestic terrorism and is being held on a $20,000 bond.
A man was robbed at gunpoint at a gas station on Detroit's east side this morning. Happened at the Sit-Go on Gratiot, a little south of East Grand Boulevard. Police say the victim was approached by two men while he was using the air pump. They came up to the victim with guns drawn, took his wallet, cell phone, car keys, even his lunchbox. They did not, however, take his car, despite taking the keys. Police are currently investigating. Detroit police searching for thieves after recovering a stolen Corvette in the area of McGraw and 30th Street. The Vette, one of three that have been discovered stolen from a storage facility lot. Police say a witness told them that he saw a late model minivan pushing a Chevy Corvette from the lot. If you've got any information about these stolen vehicles, you're urged to contact police. Local man accused of making some very disturbing phone calls. Ahead here at 5:30, what the feds say he threatened to do to government workers.
Plus, President Trump has made it clear he's in favor of arming teachers. But what does his education secretary think about that? Betsy DeVos weighs in after speaking with students at Stoneman Douglas High School.
Two people, one who got drugs, one who organized getting the drugs, faced a judge today in the overdose death of a 16-year-old girl. Why the judge was so passionate and essentially equated them bringing drugs to bringing a gun into the home.
Starting tonight, new at 6.
A rural community in Washtenaw County is dealing with a serious problem.
You know, because we're like between Detroit and Ann Arbor. It's perfect.
We'll tell you more about the problem here in Augusta Township and what's being done to stop it.
All right, Coco, also a chemical issue. The discovery of a storage tank filled with unknown chemicals has forced the Franklin Village Plaza to close. Are scientists any closer to identifying the stuff?
This is 16-year-old Serena Lawson, another life cut short by a heroin overdose. You may remember her story. Her two neighbors in Warren were charged not necessarily for killing her, but for providing the drugs that did. And in this case, the judge is astonished at how blind our communities can be to this epidemic.
What happened years ago when somebody would go see an adult and have a beer? You don't go have a beer now. You go over and you get heroin. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible, and it's more accessible.
Yeah. Well, those neighbors, Donald McCoy and Leslie Metcalf, were sentenced today. Nick Monticelli was in the courtroom as Serena's mother tried to balance saying goodbye with sending a message.
So this is one of those cases where the punishment is just as important as the lesson learned. In this case, yes, Metcalf and McCoy had to go to prison, but the judge, as you heard, says we all need to learn something about how heroin is affecting our society.
She was amazing. She had this light in her eyes that just gave the whole world hope.
There will likely never come a day when Shelley Wilfong can think about her daughter Serena without feeling a sense of loss. The 16-year-old died 1 year ago inside this mobile home in Warren because of a heroin overdose. A jury decided last month her neighbors Donald McCoy and Leslie Metcalf are responsible for her death after orchestrating and getting the heroin that killed her. Both McCoy and Metcalf argued they did not know the drugs would kill her. Judge Edward Savito didn't buy it.
I'd like to apologize for my actions. This should never have happened. I think of Serena every day.
There has not been one day, one night, 1 hour, or even 1 minute that has gone by that I don't regret the choices I made that night.
What you did that night in delivering that drug was no different than had you taken a revolver over there and put 5 bullets in the chamber of a 6-chamber gun, asked the child to spin the revolver, put it to her head and pull the trigger.
Leslie Metcalf was sentenced to 15 to 40 years for delivering a controlled substance causing death. McCoy got 15 to 80 years. And while Savino says both needed to be punished, he also says deterrent is a factor as well.
If you are going to share heroin with somebody else today, in this world, you are going to prison.
We all as a community needs to start getting together and start at least teaching the dangers about this drug that nobody should ever be touching.
In Mount Clemens, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
To learn more about the opioid epidemic or to get help for yourself or someone close to you, visit the Opioid Nation section of our website. Click on Detroit.com. There you'll find several resources related to addiction and recovery.
I wish we would run out of stories relevant to it, but we
so
nothing
many.
close yet.
Yeah.
The Detroit branch of the NAACP announcing a big name from New Jersey as the keynote speaker for the 63rd annual Fight for Freedom Fund dinner.
And it is New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, the president of Detroit's branch of the NAACP, said Booker's ability to work across the aisle is a big reason he is excited about the selection.
This individual has stood firmly for the principles from within his own party and has been unafraid to reach across the aisle.
Now, the theme for this year's dinner is We Can't Rest Now. The stakes are too high. The dinner itself is being held at the Cobo Center on May 6th. I think a few people will be there.
It's a mammoth undertaking. If you've never been there, it's hard to explain.
So many people.
Just think about how many plates there have to be.
Oh,
just think of the plates alone.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, let's bring in Ben. We're in a kind of an odd little cycle here, and it's going to continue for a while. Huh?
Yeah, more snow, but in very small areas. You're going to see a huge difference, just like what we saw this morning. With what's coming up in our forecast tonight. But here's what happened last night. In fact, when we were talking to you at 11 o'clock, that band of snow that really walloped parts of Livingston and Oakland counties just getting set up. And you can watch as it progressed through about 4 or 5 hours. It didn't move much. And then finally, about 3 a.m., this thing lifted to the north and gave some reprieve to those areas that are just north of 96 in the western part of our area. And the snow totals were impressive, to say the least. White Lake picked up 7.2 inches of snow. Peck just over 6, Marlette at 5 inches, and that ranged down to Goodrich at 3.8. But on the low end of the scale, you get further down to the south, especially in our metro zone, 0.4 of an inch was all we got at Metro Airport. And even some of these spots that got widespread 1 to 3, it didn't stick around on the pavement very long. We had some warmer temperatures yesterday, and so it took care of it. Not so much out in Howell. This is where we got one of our storm pins in, and look at the height on that snow that's sitting on the deck out there. This is a shot from Troy. Just look at how beautiful, very high water content. So that snow stuck to everything except the pavement, and it really looked like a Christmas card out there. And a new meaning to March Madness. Mother Nature kind of gave us a slam dunk last night and stuck right there in the basketball goal. So no hoops out in Howell today, but current temperatures are above freezing barely. And again, we're going to be a little bit colder tonight. So when we get this next round of snow, we are expecting more of it to stick. They got plenty of it out here in New England. That's the nor'easter curling there over the coast. So we've really got in the nicer end of that, even though we did get 7 inches of snow in some spots. You can see it's light stuff right now, and we will start accumulating as we get into the nighttime hours. This stuff that's over us this evening will be fading as the sun goes down, but that next round comes down for the morning commute. That stuff is going to be more widespread, so generally about 1 to 2 inches, and it should be area wide as we get through the morning commute tomorrow. Break midday, and there's that band setting up right in the middle of the area as we get into the afternoon hours tomorrow. High pressure does settle in for Friday and the weekend, so we get some sunshine in here and finally get a break from the snow, maybe melting off some of that too with temperatures in the 40s. Here's a look at the snow from tonight through the day on Thursday, so including the morning commute and that band that's coming in the second half of the day. Metro zone about 1 to 2 inches, and most of that's going to be during the morning commute. South zone numbers anywhere from about an inch down towards the state line, slightly higher towards Michigan Avenue. Then those totals really increase as you get into Genesee County, 3 to 4 inches. You can see the beginnings of where that band is going to set up right in the middle of the area, especially here in Lapeer County and most of our north zone. 3 to 4 inches, could be some isolated spots that actually see 5 by the end of the day tomorrow. So temperature wise, 24 tonight with those 10 to 15 mile an hour winds, but the winds really pick up tomorrow. 25 mile per hour winds with 35 as a high. So a little bit colder, but a little bit milder by the weekend, and the sunshine really starts to move in.
Unbelievable.
It is.
Yeah.
It just depends on which house you happen to live
exactly.
in.
Might not be yours.
Go to your neighbor's house.
That's right.
That's right.
All right. Thank you, Ben. When you pull off a drug bust this big, you have to show it off. New at 5:30, where all this cocaine was headed before police intercepted it.
Goodness. Plus, a massive fire up north with flames that could be seen from miles away. Why this property just would not stop burning when we continue.
We spring the clocks forward this weekend, gaining daylight but losing sleep.
It's not normal to suddenly have an hour of your life move.
And it can actually affect your health. Dr. Frank McGeorge's advice to avoid that tomorrow, starting at 5.
Across Michigan tonight, fire crews are investigating a massive fire that occurred last night in Charlevoix County. You're looking at video from the scene. This happened at a sawmill on Scope Road east of US 131 near Hetrick Road. You can imagine the challenge of fighting a fire fueled by all of that wood. Took a number of crews and departments responding as flames could be seen from miles away. They are still trying to figure out what started the fire.
A Florida grand jury has returned a 34-count indictment against Florida school shooter Nicholas Cruz. Cruz is officially charged with 17 counts of premeditated murder and 17 counts of attempted murder. 3 weeks ago, he walked into Stoneman Douglas High School armed with an AR-15 and killed 17 people. Police are saying Cruz has confessed to the mass murder. For now, he's being held behind bars away from other inmates. Meanwhile, it was the first full day back to school for students there since that deadly shooting on Valentine's Day. U.S. Education Secretary Betsy DeVos met with students and teachers. She later discussed the visit with reporters and addressed questions about the president's plan to allow trained teachers to carry guns.
For those schools and those communities that opt to do this, as they have in Texas and as they have in Polk County and other places around the country, to have people who are expert in being able to defend and having lots and lots of training in order to do so. And I think that's a model that can be adopted and should be an option for schools, for states, for communities, but it's certainly not one that needs to be required or mandated for every community.
The Department of Education has awarded a $1 million emergency relief grant to the Broward County School District.
New at 5:30.
Spring may feel far away today, but not if you suffer from spring allergies. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. See how the steps you take right now can reduce your misery in the months to come.
Today, there are concerns over what the latest high-profile White House departure might mean for the economy.
He says he was ready to kill high-ranking government officials. A Metro Detroit man allegedly making those threats to officials in D.C. and officials right here at the federal building in downtown Detroit. He was also just in court inside. We'll have the very latest.
Next week.
A man filled with hate for the government accused of making violent threats involving guns. This disturbing case laid out today at federal court in downtown Detroit.
It involves a man from Lincoln Park who allegedly said in a phone call he wants to slaughter government officials. Sean Lay live downtown tonight at the courthouse. Sean.
Guys, look, the suspect's name from Lincoln Park is Dennis Downey Jr. The feds say he was clear as a bell in a couple of phone calls, one to D.C., one here to the federal court building downtown, saying that he was angry as a convicted felon. He could not legally get his hands on a gun, but he also said he was ready to get a gun. He was ready to kill government officials. 10:30 Monday, the FBI says a call was made from Metro Detroit to a government official's office in Washington, D.C. The man calling upset that he is a convicted felon and unable to buy a gun. The FBI states that the caller said that, quote, he doesn't need the right to own a gun because he will gun down members of the highest level of the U.S. government and kill them all. The man was then asked for his number. The government affidavit says the caller then said, quote, check the expletive caller ID and pass it along to the police and FBI. That's exactly what happened. The feds traced the number right back to Dennis Allen Downey Jr., who got the phone last month and used this house in Southgate as his address. The same day, a call was also made to the U.S. Attorney's Eastern District office right here in downtown Detroit. Another threat was made, the feds say, by Downey to, quote, use his Second Amendment rights to take up arms and slaughter government officials. The feds also traced Downey to this address on Cleveland in Lincoln Park, the same address they say Downey lived, where he was arrested for assaulting a coworker with a steel coffee mug. We've been asking here today, and it's been the talk of the courthouse today, all these threats being made, what the motivation is. In the affidavit, a comment was made that Downey Jr. made a comment that he was unhappy with the way some Cherokee Native Americans were being treated. In the meantime, he's being held right now. A detention hearing will be held for him right back down here tomorrow. We're live in downtown Detroit. Sean Lay, Local 4.
All right, Sean, thanks.
William Pulte, founder of the home building giant Pulte Group, died earlier today. Pulte built his first home back in 1950 at the age of 18 and his first subdivision 9 years later. By 1995, Pulte Group was the largest home builder in the United States. Pulte is survived by his wife Karen, his 13 children, 27 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren. William Pulte was 85 years old.
While many Americans may not know who Gary Cohn is, he's well known on Wall Street, where stocks tumbled after his resignation today. And while the White House tries to tamp down fears of a trade war, the Trump administration is battling with the state of California over immigration. Blaine Alexander wraps it all up for us.
Well, hello to you from the White House. President Trump's proposed tariffs are still under construction, not yet signed. And now with Chief Economic Advisor Gary Cohn out, there are more concerns about what this might mean for the economy. Today, stock markets slumping after news of the latest White House departure, Chief Economic Advisor Gary Cohn. Cohn resigning as President Trump prepares to sign new tariffs on foreign steel and aluminum, announced last week over Cohn's strong objections.
It'll be 25% for steel. It'll be 10% for aluminum.
The president announced these during a press scrum at the end of a photo op. Right. When some reporter shouted a question at him. What process-driven person would want to see something operating like that?
The White House playing down concerns of a trade war.
We expect that the president will sign something by the end of the week, and there are potential carve-outs for Mexico and Canada based on national security and possibly other countries as well.
Meanwhile, President Trump addressing Latino business leaders, touting his tax cuts, but blaming Democrats for not getting a deal on DACA.
Democrats are nowhere to be found. They're nowhere to be found.
In California, Attorney General Jeff Sessions met with protests over the administration's latest immigration move.
Education, not deportation.
The Justice Department suing the state over sanctuary cities.
How dare you needlessly endanger the lives of our law enforcement officers to promote a radical open borders agenda.
Sessions accusing some California officials of siding with undocumented immigrants over ICE agents. And today, California Democrat Senator Dianne Feinstein is defending the state's sanctuary city laws, saying that instead, ICE should focus on deporting violent criminals. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
A former Russian spy and his daughter, who were found unconscious in a British shopping mall over the weekend, are believed to have been poisoned with a nerve agent. Police believe Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia were specifically targeted, so they're treating this as an attempted murder. Skripal was convicted in Russia in 2006 as a double agent for British intelligence, but exchanged in a spy swap in 2010. This case is eerily similar to the murder of former Russian spy Alexander Litvinenko, who was poisoned in a London hotel 11 years ago. Specifics on this attack are not being released.
More than five tons of cocaine were seized by the Colombian government yesterday in Colombia. Authorities say it was all on its way to Europe by ship. That amount of cocaine has a street value of more than $430 million. The Colombian government says it has seized about 60 tons of cocaine since the beginning of the year.
Representatives for the woman who won $500 million in the Powerball jackpot claimed her prize today. Identified only as Jane Doe in official paperwork, the New Hampshire woman is asking a judge to let her remain anonymous, even though she already signed the back of the ticket. By law, the Lottery Commission says it's obligated to release the woman's name since she signed the back of the ticket. Her lawyers are saying she wants to stay anonymous for her own personal reasons.
My client does not want any accolades. She does not want any credit. She just wants to do good things.
The winner plans on donating parts of the winnings to different nonprofit organizations. In the meantime, the winning ticket will remain sealed until the court makes its decision. All right, in good health, it may be snowy now, but you've probably seen signs. The spring season is near, long, but near. It's getting here, and that, of course, brings allergies.
It sure does, but don't despair if you suffer from allergies. Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with some advice that we can use to stay ahead of the problems.
That's exactly the trick, Karen and Jason. You know, if you have known seasonal allergies, now is the time to begin preparing. Medications that work long-term to control your symptoms are often really most effective if they're started before the pollen really picks up. If you're followed by an allergist, think about making an appointment soon. Spring is around the corner, and before long, beautiful flowers, green grass, and budding trees will surround us. But with this beauty comes a price, usually starting with tree pollen.
We typically see the pine pollen, which is the biggest, most dense pollen, is what you see in the puddles on the hood of your car.
Over-the-counter medicines like antihistamines, nasal sprays, and saline rinses can help ease the symptoms of runny noses, repetitive sneezing, swollen eyes, and headache. But for those with serious allergies, there are allergy tests and other treatments.
They actually undergo testing, both for the common things you inhale and breathe in, but also for foods. You know, so those patients, once they get on shots and they've been on them for a while, they love the improvement and they can really feel a difference day in and day out.
The sooner you take steps to battle allergies, the less severe your symptoms will likely be. And don't forget the simple things you can do to help yourself right now.
Need to do some cleaning. There's certain kinds of pillowcases that you can use to decrease that exposure. There's certain cleaning agents. You know, a person that's very allergic goes out and mows their yard, or the weekend warrior that goes out on Saturday and Sunday and does all the weed eating and everything. A lot of times they're going to wake up with a lot of symptoms on that Monday morning.
Now, if you're traveling during spring break and you have allergies, be sure to plan ahead, because many parts of the country, particularly down in the south, they have already experienced a very significant increase in pollen levels.
Yeah.
I like the idea, though, of starting ahead with the medications. I didn't really think about that.
Yeah, you want to get those control medications basically working in your body before you get hit by the pollen.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doc.
Good advice. There's controversy over pay raises given to hundreds of doctors in Canada, and the ones complaining are the doctors themselves.
Coming up also, imagine trying to focus on your job while smelling all of your favorite smells. One police dog managed to track down a thief under mouth-watering circumstances.
And don't get burned on spring break. I don't mean by the sun, by thieves. What you need to know next.
It could be new at 6.
Out of control for some, a trip to a Berkeley bowling alley ends in the gutter. What this woman is accused of doing that had patrons on edge. Rod.
All right, so you've got a difficult scientific problem you need to have an answer to. You might come here to the smart people at the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, who will use
a lot of boring math involving trigonometry and sine waves and cosines and a little bit of algebra
to get you to an answer you might not have expected. What is this all about? We'll have the answer.
All right, Rod. In the next few weeks, many of you will be off to someplace warm and sunny for spring break. But before you board that plane or load up the car, we talked with a travel expert who has the best tips of keeping you and your family safe, whether you're venturing off on an excursion or just chilling on the beach.
Spring break. It's all about letting loose and relaxing. But with all that surf and sand, don't forget about safety.
Be aware of your surroundings and be aware of the things that are going on around you.
Excursions on vacation can be fun, whether you're snorkeling or zip lining. But David Fishman, the president of Cadillac Travel Group, says make sure you're going with a reputable company.
Check with the hotel or concierge at the hotel or someone at the hotel.
And don't even think about taking recommendations from your cab driver or someone handing out a flyer.
A lot of times they'll take you places to people that are doing these excursions or these types of trips that aren't licensed, aren't reputable, and that will take advantage of you.
Some people aren't the excursion type, so what if you want to stay on the beach, but you're worried about what to do with your wallet?
You should try and keep your stuff locked up in your safe at the hotel. If you don't have a safe in your room, then I recommend that you lock it up at the front desk, because they usually have some type of boxes or places to lock your stuff up.
David says it's best to bring a credit card on your trip, but make sure to make a copy of your card information before you leave, just in case.
If you need to have that replaced, then you can call, get your information, and make the phone calls to the different credit card companies and information to stop the credit cards so people can't use them, and also get them replaced.
And if you chose to stay at your resort, you'll probably grab a drink or two. Whether you're drinking water or alcohol, never leave your drink somewhere. If it leaves your sight, grab a new one.
The problem is usually someone putting something into your drinks. Make sure you see the bartender actually making the drink. Don't just take a drink from a stranger, even if it's being brought over by a waitress. Make sure they know that that drink was made and not touched by anybody else.
Just remember, whatever you do, wherever you go,
if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't seem right, get out of that situation.
And also, if you're keeping your wallet in your hotel room, stash your credit cards and your cash in separate places. Some in your shoe maybe, or your suitcase, some in a drawer. That way, if someone breaks in, they'll settle for one of your hiding spots and you'll still have something to get you home.
Well, Peyton Manning selling his stake in 31 Papa John's franchises just days before the company split with the NFL. The chain has relinquished its role as the official pizza of the NFL. The split is described as a mutual decision, but comes after former Papa John's CEO blamed national anthem protests in the NFL for the pizza chain's declining sales. Manning will remain a spokesperson and brand ambassador for Papa John's as part of a long-term agreement. Pizza Hut is now the official pizza of the NFL.